This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
What's up, everybody? It's episode 152 of Beers in the Lot. We're so hyped for our Beer League Summer Tournament this weekend starting July 14th, as you will soon hear in this episode. But first, I need to remind you that even if you aren't attending, you can help us raise money for Platoon 22, the cause that this tournament rallies for. So, be sure to visit beersinthelot.com/OFBG to get a donation in or to find out more about the tournament. We're also going to live stream our In the Lot podcast that we'll be doing between games at the tournament this Saturday. So check our socials for more info on how to watch and win. But as for this episode, we were missing Daniel as he's on vacation, so Riggs and John and I talked about the summer tournament, of course, and a conversation that came from Discord about where to put your sticks in the car, and we discussed the ways that the NHL clubs say welcome to the show to rookies and draft picks, as well as some quick free agency takes. So let's crack the beers.
What are you drinking over there, Aaron?
Tonight, I have from Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a light. That's what it says on the can. A Miller Light. How about you, John? What have you got today?
I have a great taste, less filling Miller Lite as well. What about you, Eric? What do you have?
I have from Attaboy Beer in downtown Frederick, Maryland, Backyard King.
Kang.
Which is
Backyard Kang.
Yeah, Backyard King, which is a German Pilsner, as opposed to the Wisconsin Pilsner that you guys have.
Quality, uncompromising, and unchanging. Frederick Miller, 1855.
What a
Just
quote.
want to let you know that some things never change. And this also is award-winning light Pilsner. I just want to share that.
What award?
Best light Pilsner ever made.
Well, I'll tell you what what award it didn't win. It didn't win a blue ribbon.
That's right.
Yeah, it didn't run
Another
a ribbon.
beer has that distinction.
That's right. And the blue ribbon signifies the best.
Yeah,
Best.
yeah. Absolutely.
Another favorite though, from Pabst.
Oh yeah.
The blue ribbon.
Yeah. So how are we doing this evening, gentlemen? How are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling all right. You know,
I'm excited.
You should.
You're excited, Riggs. I know why you're excited.
Super excited.
I'm excited as well. Do you wish to share why we have this excitement?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This weekend is the Old Fat Ball Guys Summer Ice Hockey Tournament.
The 17th annual, isn't it?
The 17th annual. And golf on Friday.
Yes.
OFBG golf on Friday. Then hockey. Then silent auction / live auction. I don't know what they're doing this year. They got a bunch of stuff. So
There are many festivities.
Yes. All to benefit Platoon 22.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Absolutely. It's
awesome.
going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Got folks coming in from out of town just to play in this tournament, just to partake in the festivities, including former guest of the show, Captain Greg Gilman, and numerous other people that are coming in for this. It's an event. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I just hope
huge.
everyone that's coming into town is safe. You know, that's all I care about. So I'll just leave it at there.
Absolutely.
Just want everybody to arrive safe. And yeah, excited to get the weekend started.
Safe and healthy. Yep.
Safe and healthy. Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
ready to get the weekend underway.
Yes. Hopefully everybody shows up healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Put something in the email about that this year, but neither here or there. Yeah.
I knew where you're going with that, John.
It's totally fine. Yeah. Don't worry. No, it'll actually be fun this year because we kind of, we exercise some muscle in terms of drafting. So at least for selfish purposes. So it'll be friend of the program, Brando's son, then
Former
Eric
guest,
and
yeah.
his son, Aaron with no child, me, no child. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
No child's participating
No
in
child.
this tournament. Correct.
No children's.
No
Yeah, it'll be fun.
No offspring.
Yeah. No spawns, clones, etc. So yeah.
No
It'll be fun.
progeny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'd be cool because like a bunch of us
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be a blast.
yeah. And I think if everything holds pat team wise, like, you know, bunch of dudes and players will hang out with all weekend and, you know, just have a good little time. That's all it's about. Raise a little money
Absolutely.
for charity. Have some brouhahas, play hockey, and yeah. Hell yeah.
Make some memories
Yeah, dude.
Every year.
every year. Gonna be a blast. Can't wait. Counting down the days. We're recording Monday night. This will drop on Wednesday, which I believe rosters and stuff will be revealed.
Well,
But who knows? The track record with OFPG, who knows?
I kind of need the schedules because I'm trying to coordinate the kids doing the scorekeeping. So
right, yeah.
I was hoping to have it today, but you know, what's it like to hope?
Yeah.
I used to have a boss. He said, like, you know, I'm in sales, so some people were, you know, on their weekly reports or monthly kind of breakdowns of stuff they're either pitching at the end of the year for their yearly programs. Like, I'm really hopeful of getting this, and that program. And he just would joke to this one guy, like, I'm going to pay you next year in hopes. That's what I'm going to pay you on.
Pay you in hopes.
And since that, I love that. Like, I just think it's so funny. I'm hopeful. Yeah.
But we are going to record live in the lot again this year, and I think we're going to try and live stream that at the same
Yeah.
time as recording. Hopefully
That's
it
gonna be-
works.
That's going to be interesting. We may or may not be live streaming it.
Right.
Our plan is to
Hope-
attempt to live stream it.
Hopefully it works. We'll see.
Whether or not you can catch that stream or not, who knows? We'll see. But we're going to attempt to live stream it.
We'll
Maybe
see
we
what
should
happens.
try and walk before we run.
I don't know. I think,
Like-
I think this is.
I think we're
this
going to do
is
fine.
yeah. I think this is actually pretty simple. It's a simple way to kind of start
In theory, it
doing that
sounds
stuff.
very simple.
So, because we're going to be in one location, we're not going to have multiple people in different locations.
Yep. It's going to be a lot
And
easier to do.
the only real variable is we'll be in the parking lot instead of at somebody's house.
Yeah, our
So-
internet connection might
Right.
be our limiting factor.
Right.
But-
So we'll see. We'll see.
And we're also going to try a little bit more mic'd up footage as well. That's going to be fun.
Yes.
So we'll have hopefully some of that. It may or may not come faster than it did last year, but we're going to collect that footage and then try and make use of it.
We're also going to try and release like some Insta or Twitter, you know, vids somewhat quickly, like little jokey interviews. Brando was kind enough. He snagged one of those little microphones for this week, a Rose microphone. So we're going to play around with that. We're going to play around with some stuff this weekend that we haven't. And we've been debating doing quite a bit of this stuff forever, but it's kind of tough because, you know, we play once a week or then we do, you know, kind of our naughty boy weekend. So it's like tough to coordinate everything, especially when we're out of state. Like every time we're
Yeah.
out of state, it's such a cluster with everything else because we are not at the, you know, this at least we have a little more hands-on control over what our schedule is, B, kind of where everyone is that we need for recording and stuff, but also too, like we know the environment that we'll be in, like versus, you know, we're not going to go live from Scott's, which would be cool, but I don't think that's, you know, possible.
Yeah. I think like we could make that work, but I'm just afraid of what would happen.
What would live from a bar?
I feel like it would almost
maybe
be the
it should be
scene,
recorded from a bar.
like almost like a How I
Yeah.
Met. I almost feel like it would be a How I Met Your Mother thing. There's like fire trucks and ambulances and then it's like us, and it's like, you're probably wondering how we got here. Well, let me.
Yep, that's me.
Yep, that's me.
Bet you're wondering.
Yeah, exactly. Bet you're wondering how we got here. Yeah.
But yes, this weekend we've got lots of plans for stuff we're gonna try, things we're gonna play with, see if we can do some new ways to bring content to you. So and have a blast while making it. So we're super excited for it.
Yeah, we'll get some cats on that we play with, and talk to them. That was actually really fun last week. So
Gooner's on the team.
Gooner's on the team. Squad.
Gooner's on our team.
Mr. Goon Squad from our Christmas or New Year's.
He's been on multiple times.
He has, absolutely. Yep. So active member in the Discord, guerrilla marketeer, extraordinaire.
beersandalot.com/Discord.
Yeah.
But for real, also for the tournament, beersandalot.com/OFBG for info on the tournament and ways you can donate to the worthy cause of Platoon 22 there. So definitely check that out too.
This is kind of the last hurrah for the year, the way the schedule works out too. Like we play this week, and I think we're off for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we have like 2 or 3 weeks of pickup,
I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I already looked at the pickup. Like I think like some of those weeks I'm going to use it for like, I'll travel for work on Sunday. That way I can get home a little earlier. So like, we'll see. This may be my last hurrah till like next season. So I'm kind of excited. It's been a grind, man. Long hockey season for us. There's a lot of cool shit.
Dude, you're not even involved in youth hockey anymore. You don't even need to talk.
I know.
You want to talk about a grind.
I'm so happy.
Dude, you want to talk about a grind. We're already skating.
You had a season for the ages. Let's just you had a season for the ages.
Yeah, but
we don't need to go into that.
Well, forget all the bullshit. But like the schedule alone, like we start playing games in August. Like it's stupid. And then they don't finish bonkers. They don't finish up until March. Yeah. So you want to talk about a grind. Like you're playing once a week, dog.
Oh, I know.
You show up to the rink once a week. Like get out of here.
Have a blast. Just talk a bunch of shit.
Oh, it's so hard. So hard. It's a grind.
So hard talking shit.
Oh yeah. I was telling you, right? Like I'm already looking at the youth schedule and my schedule, right? Like in November, I think the only weekend that I'm home between Johnstown, kids hockey, and stuff is like Thanksgiving weekend. That's the only weekend I'm home.
And then we're doing Wally Fest, and I think you have like tournament something.
I'm in Nashville 2 weeks before that.
Yeah. Wally Fest. And then
there's playoffs. Yeah. One of the league's playoffs is the week after Wally Fest, I think. So
got a pro schedule.
Schedule.
These kids are cramping your style. Away. That's what it sounds like to me, Riggs.
I don't know. I'm still going to Johnstown and Wally Ice Fest. So it doesn't matter to me.
Not cramping, just racking up the flyer miles or whatever.
Well, yeah, Sheets points.
Yeah, the Sheets points. Yep. So this might be a good one. We actually had this conversation in Discord, but it's a good question. Where do you put your sticks in the car when you're on your way to the rink? You put them on top of the bag or under the bag?
Yeah, I saw that. So
how do you? Well, you got a truck, so it's probably different. It probably depends on your vehicle, right?
Well, even when I had the SUV, and I don't know if this is just a me thing, I would always put my bag in and then the sticks on top. And then actually, what I do is
real quick. We got to give a shout out to Josh who brought up this debate, and it made its way to us via Discord. So and Jessica. So we just got to give a shout out to them real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So you ended up with
SUV. Yeah. When I was in the SUV, when I had my SUV, I definitely always, it was bag sticks. Now that I have the truck, 60% of the time it goes in the bed and it's bag sticks. If I have to put it like in the cab, in the back seat, I do. Oh yeah. Bag sticks. The only time it gets funky is if I throw the golf clubs in there too. I don't know why.
Yeah. When I'm putting it in a trunk, especially when I had the Camaro, I didn't really have an option. when I was when driving the Camaro.
Yeah,
all the
you have
time.
no option
That
at
trunk
that point.
is like, I got to get the bag in there as quickly as, or in any way that I can, since the opening is small, but the trunk is large. It's just the opening is small.
Yeah.
And then sticks on top of it, because if I try to do it the other way, then I suppose it would work, but it just, I don't know. It makes more sense. Get the bag off my shoulder first.
You did bring a good point up of like when we travel collectively together, it's always sticks on a side.
It's got to be on a side.
On a side, like a door side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And someone either has to like maybe deal with the blade or, you know, the handle in their side.
Or like 8 sticks.
Yeah. 9 sticks. So yeah. But yeah, because we've done it. I remember I drove a few times. It's 4 guys, 8 sticks.
Yeah.
Like that. It's a pain in the ass getting out of that side.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Especially when we were taking the journey to Johnstown. Yeah. Somebody has to like.
The Don't Stop Believing Mobile. Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing Mobile.
Yeah.
To Johnstown. Somebody has to climb over the stick fence.
But actually, I will say, Eric and I traveled like kings up to the Poconos, because the only thing that was in the trunk, I had my archery target and like a few boxes of catalogs. So we just stuck our hockey bags in there, sticks in, and then all the, you know, other stuff that we didn't want, you know, totally 100 degrees freezing in the cab. But then I told Eric when we got to the place and it was like 0 degrees, I'm like, I'm bringing my stuff in the house tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
And everyone's like, why? I'm like, if it sits out here all night, it's going to be just as cold as it is out here on your shit tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Nope.
You want to put that on your body? Yeah. So, well, yeah. And I had the living room as my locker room, bedroom, and everything. So yeah, that's where I was. Thank God that bear didn't kill me. But yeah, there was this. We were up at Wally Fest. We had this big, massive window, which is very nice in the living room area where I slept on the couch. And I was like saying, like, that window is so big. Like, if a bear just saw me on the couch, like, he's coming through. I'm gone. Like, you guys will hear the window break, and then bye. Like, that's on me. Like
we'll hear sounds of Quint.
Yeah, you'll just hear me like, oh, can you imagine the swear words that would come out of my mouth if a bear actually got me? Or you guys hear the glass break, you hear a bunch of shouting and screaming, and you guys like come out and you see a dead bear, and I'm just on top of it, like just like, oh my God,
with one of the 12 dozen knives that you carry on your person at any one time. Like you're bill cutting.
Yeah, I kill a bear and then one of you guys like, hey John, can you pass it? Never mind, I'm good. I'll get it myself. Yeah, that's right. That's an alpha move. Like if we thought some of the alpha moves we joked about, like being in somebody else's urinal, like you kill a bear, that's alpha. Only thing I'm
that
like,
just reminded me.
What?
This happened to me at work the other day.
Oh God, you got alpha at work?
I got alpha. I definitely got alpha at work. All right, so I'm going to the bathroom, right? And the guy's ahead of me. He gets to the door first, whatever, holds the door for me. The guy's like a head shorter than I am, right? He's a shorter guy. Nothing wrong with that. Just he's short.
There is nothing wrong with that. Why do you have
absolutely nothing wrong with that? I don't know why there ever would be, but just point it out. He's a shorter guy.
Okay.
So he holds the door for me, but he holds it in such a way so that he's going in first. Still, I'm just behind him. No big deal. I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Fair.
He's doing the reach back thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The reach back. Yeah.
But totally fine. The reach back maneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is turning into a Curb episode.
I was gonna say this is treading very close.
So in the bathroom, there's 2 urinals, right? One of them is a standard height, and then one of them is a lower height urinal.
So those are the best. I always take those.
He's a shorter guy. He goes to the standard height urinal, leaving me with the normal height urinal. Totally okay. That's fine too, I suppose. Kind of felt alpha there. Then he does the thing where he just pees straight into the water, and just as loud as possible.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's power moving for sure.
Yeah.
And
This literally sounds
John
how I
would
operate.
love this.
This
John
is
would
exactly
love
no.
this.
Everything you described, I do that. I literally do that every time. Like I'm like, I'll
Takes
go
the
the taller one.
urinal and makes me have to aim lower. Go straight in
Well,
the water. I got
the other
I
the
absolutely
other
got out.
the other move I say when I go to like those taller urinals too. I'm like, man, guess this area has no ADA requirements or anything. I'm like,
Oh, come on.
I have been. I'll be honest. Like, all right, and I'm 5'2", so I'm not on that borderline of like I've thought about it more and more. And the older toilets, or urinals especially, are significantly higher. Like almost to the point where like, I know, I'm sure there are kids that walk into that bathroom that struggle worse than I do. And I like think about that. But then I also like, we play hockey with a guy who's like, 6'7" or some nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, he must have grew up in Chernobyl. Like I'm not the outlier here. He is. I run that through my mind. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. It's him. I do one of those. Like every time I see those things. So yeah. But especially now, like stadiums, like a lot of sporting arenas, they do like the trough, which is kind of gross.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
or they do kind of the ones that are like situated on the floor. They like go to the floor essentially.
They go all the way to the floor.
Yeah.
So either way, both kind of nasty. So
it's a toilet.
Right.
It's a toilet, that's for freaking sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought you'd enjoy that.
Oh yeah, I love it. I like hearing of a good alpha move. That's always, that warms my heart.
I thought to myself, I was like, I respect this guy. This guy is getting my respect.
Wait,
That's
so
sure.
is he in like your group at work, or just another guy who's?
I honestly, I've never seen him before, so I don't actually know who he is.
He just shows up once a week to alpha taller guys. That's what he does. He doesn't even work. He doesn't even work at your place of employment. He just like, I found a place I can go alpha, guys. I'm gonna go there once a week. He just stops there. He's like a trucker or something. Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. Bet just $5 and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. In West Virginia, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Max bet $50. 10 plus legal requirement for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. Didn't some hockey stuff happen somewhere?
Quite a bit, but I did find it funny. Out of all the teams with the development camp, I saw no footage of Connor Bedard skating. I saw a little bit of footage of him at BioSteel camp.
Well, they didn't. Were they one of the teams that didn't skate?
No on ice stuff for Chicago.
Right. Yeah, that's what
Which
I thought.
I'm kind of. I'll be honest. Like after seeing what happened in Toronto, where that one kid got leveled.
Oh,
like,
he got
truck stick.
Yeah, like that was.
He got
bad.
truck stick. So like I understand you're protecting, and to be honest, like I think there's a video, the Minnesota Wild pulled it out. It's one of the first times I've ever seen it like laid out as easy. Billy Guerin just comes in the room, cracks a few jokes, and then goes, "This week is more about you getting to know us and us getting to know you."
Right.
Like that's really what it's about. Like not necessarily kind of, let's get on the ice and do some fitness testing and then we'll do some other stuff. It's like, I imagine 99.99% of those kids come in tip-top physical shape. And some of those kids are either, 18, 19, 20. It's their off season. So they're in the middle of their training protocols anyway. So like they're fine, but it's more just how do you fit in a group setting in this environment? We're going to show you some of the team facilities, some other stuff. And like, I always found it interesting. Like, I know quite a few teams do like, they'll take them and do like a cooking class and then some community event and something like that. So they try to help them with little life skills and then also like get them involved in the community, like kind of, starting the process of like, hey, when you're part of the insert NHL team name, you're part of the community abroad, which is a good thing. You get
NHL team city.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Arizona doesn't have one, but like other teams, yes. Yeah.
They don't have an arena either, so they're an outlier.
Well, some of those kids,
some of those kids will play there.
Yeah.
Some of those kids might have gotten drafted from that arena.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Now, the Billy Guerin thing was interesting because I saw multiple videos of GMs and coaches talking to the kids before they kind of got going for their week or whatever it is. And the theme across all of it was what we're doing right now is building the relationships. It wasn't really about the hockey at all. Like,
right.
Yeah, they're going to skate and they're going to work out and all that stuff, but it really wasn't about the hockey at all. It was about like start forming the teammate friendships and start hanging out together and start doing all those things that, if you end up playing together, that's, you live together essentially when you play together.
Meet your
in those
roommate
situations.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So it's like all that kind of stuff, which I thought was very interesting and kind of falls in line with what I always say is that hockey is really about the relationships you get on teams, whether you're a pro or a beer leaguer, by knowing somebody on a team, right? Like,
yep,
somebody knows somebody else that needs someone, and you get hooked up, and that's how it works. And I think even in pro situations, that's how it works, right? So
sure,
the relationships are everything, and they can make or break careers. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and it definitely makes sense that they trying to foster the building the relationships right away. I mean, they want players to feel like they fit in because that's going to make them a better player for one. I mean, it's in their interest for the players to feel
absolutely
at home and comfortable with their teammates. So that's
and the one thing I've noticed now, like in coaching, since I'm in like the older age groups now, right? So 15, 16-year-olds, they don't really talk to other people. Like they have their small little friend groups, right? And stuff. But even when they're at the rink, they don't really talk to each other or like the whole team that often.
Right.
So I think what you're seeing, right, is the staffs at the elite levels are seeing these kids come up, and they're not forming the relationships that are going to be beneficial on the ice. So they kind of have to not like force it,
them along,
but like show them the why. Like, this is why we do this. This is why we need to hang out together and talk to each other and like stay off of our phones, and like actually interact with each other and that kind of thing. So from that perspective, it's very interesting to me.
Well, you gotta think too, the next couple of years is going to be a little interesting. It started last year with like Shane Wright. Shane Wright was one of the first kids drafted. I mean, there were quite a few others, obviously, but Shane was one of the ones they said that really kind of impacted him. Your Bantam or midget or some of these kids, in the next coming years, your peewee minor and major year, that was a COVID year. So you missed some interesting friendship development time, social skills, school skills, like some of that I'm a firm believer, like we were very fortunate, because we kind of kept in touch due to, technology. But like there were others that didn't. And our sport was taken away. We couldn't go play in our beer league and stuff, but like we had other things to kind of keep us going. You know what I mean? Now when you're a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, like it's a little different because you take it away and it's kind of like, oh, well, I'll play video games. And then it's like, before you know, you're like not playing with your friends, you're playing just on campaign mode or something, So then, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see over the course of the next couple of years, like how that group socially and athletically kind of transitions into not just hockey, but like baseball and everything, every sport
transitions into adulthood
in
and
the workplace
Yeah.
and college age and all that. That'll
Yep.
be. I mean, my wife's a high school teacher, so I mean, she has some freaking war stories already. I mean, and I'm like, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the coming years. I mean, I'm like,
right.
we don't need to get into it. We could do a different podcast altogether, not hockey related on it, but gosh, some of the shit she says, I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some other stuff happening in the NHL too, though, right? Like a bunch of free agency moves. What was some of the highlights? Give me give me two highlights of free agency from you, John.
Go, Riggs. Well, Riggs can
Real
go
quick.
first.
I was just
go
thinking
first.
from you in particular, John, because you've got takes.
Yeah.
Hey, if Riggs
generally.
has some, then sure. But
I'll go first because
I want him to go
really
first. He's burning. I could tell. That's why.
I really
I've seen this movie before.
I really haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really
So you
didn't.
go first.
I didn't care.
I had designs.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
because first day of free agency was on a Saturday, so I had designs of like, oh, I'm gonna like watch part of the TSN coverage and like all this
Right.
stuff, but it was also a Saturday, so we were doing other things besides
You got shit to do.
watching ding dongs on TV talk about people signing pieces of paper for millions and
right.
millions of dollars. So anyway,
I was doing both, but it's okay. Continue.
the
I have problems, so yeah.
but like
Continue.
I really didn't I really didn't pay attention to much of it. So
All right. So then I got three that kind of
Oh,
I wouldn't
three.
say
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't say shocked me, but I was like I found it like more interesting of a story than what was brought up. Ryan O'Reilly left Toronto in a place that he grew up, said he wanted to be there, and then went to Nashville. I don't think he liked kind of the heat that was on him in Toronto, even though he performed 100% of what he needed to do. I
Yeah,
don't think it was.
he did his job. Who's mad?
I don't think it was him, but I think in a situation, not in a rude way, he has a cup. He can go to Nashville. He could be a little under the radar, and he's really into music and everything. So for him, it's like this is a really good market for him. And Tennessee's a good place to raise your family and whatnot. The Tarasenko issues still going on. He fired his agent and switched agencies. He's now with JP Barry. And there was some rumblings that his agent wanted this deal for him. Tarasenko did not want that deal because the Carolina deal was higher money. He hasn't came out and said anything. He just switched agencies very quietly. So I respect him for that because he could have just put him on blast. But that one to me, I was like, there's something else there under the surface that like maybe we'll never know. I don't know. And then the only other one I would say, probably the DeBrincat thing broke yesterday. It was known he was going to go to Detroit. I kind of think like after what Pierre-Luc Dubois went for to LA, like I'm kind of shocked they didn't get more for DeBrincat, Ottawa. I mean, I understand they just want to get rid of him and be done with it, but I was kind of like shocked because I don't know. DeBrincat's a 2-time 40 goal scorer, and Pierre-Luc Dubois is good, but he's not the cat. So if you're LA, you have three amazing centers now down the middle. So those are my three, I guess, free agent
I don't
thing.
have
Like,
any, except for I've been hearing rumblings about Erik Karlsson coming to Pittsburgh,
dude,
and I don't want that to happen.
it's not going to happen because he makes $11
probably
million.
not going to happen, but
who's going to
why?
eat that? Who's going to eat that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the talks is like San Jose some way or other, whether it's another team or they have to somehow shave $3 million off his salary to make him $8 million, which is much more sexy to teams.
Right.
I don't see how that's going to happen. It's
Pittsburgh would have to give up minutes for like PO and some other dudes.
Exactly.
He's the one need ice time.
He's the one that sticks out to me because he's the one that like they should be pushing.
I like PO, and the other thing that I was I like Erik Karlsson. If he's healthy, I do think he's talented because he avoids a lot of the big hits, the way he plays and whatnot. He's very offensively minded. Totally fine. My only other fear is, and I'm not saying this because like I have my own critiques of Chris Letang, but Chris Letang is our, as a Penguins fan, he's our number one D. So you live by the sword, die by the sword. When San Jose had two elite right-hand offensive players, they both suffered.
Yeah.
Karlsson and Burns. And then oddly enough, the first year they both are in different places.
Yeah.
They both have amazing seasons. It's so strange. And I think part of it is because I think sometimes when you're playing PP or PK, because they both play both, and then even strength, like because you're essentially switching sides, one of them is switching a side, or maybe there's just certain looks you're getting because the other guy is known for his high danger ability as well. Like you're not getting the same look. And over time that does it's easier for a team, not in a bad way, play a little more traditional and put two wingers up on the point and just have them guard your right, those two guys. I mean, it's annoying, and both of those, Burns and Karlsson are good enough skaters to avoid a lot of that pressure, but like your looks are different versus when you're like, oh, we have one guy on Karlsson. It's easier to lose one guy versus two. And especially like, doing power play stuff where they both like shooting. Like there's only one puck on the ice. So that's tough. So yeah. I don't know.
I hope they don't get him.
That's my opinion on the Erik Karlsson thing. Like, and also I think like Pittsburgh would be greater served to like, let's try and do something a little more with the depth. I like Achari. Like, I think that's good. He brings a few elements in, and yeah, I don't know. Cause it's still so early. Like, who knows what the hell they're going to do. So meh.
Well, we've already got our shot in at Arizona, but we didn't get a Phil Kessel mention in, so let's get one of those.
Some great stories.
I want to see
from him.
I need more footage of Phil celebrating with the cup. I definitely need more.
I did like what Vegas did, where they actually took it off the market, so to speak, for like a couple of days and have them engrave all the names. So the team, like when they do the team parties and everything, the guys have their name on it. That's really cool. I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
That's badass.
Definitely.
I'm kind of jealous.
Kessel's got his name on the cup again.
Thrice times.
Thrice times.
That's right. I saw like this old clip 24/7. Randy Carlyle was like teasing him because Phil was late. And Phil's in this like very ill-fitting suit compared to like some of the, like they at the time had like Lupul and Phaneuf, like guys who could dress pretty well. Like it was a stylish cut suit. Phil's like in this big boxy Tanimal suit, and he's like, ha ha ha, very funny, Randy. Like just like yelling at him. It's so funny. Oh.
Like the Family Guy skit where Peter's like, Randy.
Thanks again for listening to Beers in the Lot. If you are listening to this episode before Saturday, July 15th, go to beersintheLot.com/OFBG so you can donate to Platoon 22 and other OFBG causes, and have a great weekend.